Hello and welcome to month 7 of our $5 quilt club. We're going to be doing an orange peel applique. I'm going to talk about different tools you can use for applique and then also different fusible webbings. The first one I have here is called Select Applique, and it is by Quilter Select. This one is really fantastic if you are using multiple layers of applique right on top of each other. It helps prevent your project from feeling super stiff like cardboard. It's super flexible. It's so cool. So that is really, this is the best for layering different applique. There's also, what else I have here is, this is Steam Seam. So this one is really nice because it has a temporary adhesive. So once you get your project drawn, it will stick where you want it to stay so that you can, put it in place and then permanently fuse it. This is a really lightweight, it's called Bosel's Splendid Web. This one is also really great for layers. It comes on a bolt like this and it's sold by the yard. And then the Steam Seam 2, this is this one. It's so great for, because it has that temporary adhesive. All of the fusible webbings, there's a whole bunch on the market. These are the 3 that I use the most. Always for different purposes and projects. So I'm just going to show you the simple technique for every time you do applique. All you're going to do is you're going to take your template and you are going to trace it onto your fusible webbing. So this one doesn't have a paper backing. These 2 do. So all you're going to do is you're going to trace with a fabric safe marker. Or I guess this one you can use a pen because it's not actually going to be transferred on. This one would be actually on your fabric. And you're going to trace your shape. So on this one, it's really kind of difficult to see, but there's no texture. It's flat like paper. And then this side, you can see just a little bit how it has that heat activated webbing on the back. So we don't want to trace on that side. We're going to trace right on here. So I'm just going to trace directly on the shape. The light box makes it super helpful. There are a lot of different light boxes out there. I really like the Caterpillar because the Caterpillar Glow has a rechargeable battery so that when you can take it on the go, or if you are far away from an outlet, you can still use your light box, which is really great. Okay, so now that I have all of my shapes traced out, the only thing I have to do is I just need to lay it on the wrong side of my fabric. So here's the right side, here's the wrong side. I'm gonna lay it directly on my fabric. So let's see, I'm gonna go this way. And then you're just going to press that and activate the adhesive. Okay, so just a few seconds. Each manufacturer has a different recommendation of how to fuse it. Most of them do recommend using a pressing sheet. This one, absolutely, you would have to have a pressing sheet because as soon as this touches any amount of, any part of a hot iron, it's gonna turn to glue, liquid glue, and that would be why you would need a pressing sheet for this one. So I'm going to show you the coolness of the Steam Seam. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to peel off our paper here, if I can. All right, peeling off the paper, and then you place it on the wrong side of your fabric, like that. And actually, I'm gonna cut away some of that so that there's a little bit less adhesive going onto my fabric and also off the side of my fabric. So I'm gonna leave a bit of an edge here, and then I'm gonna place it on the wrong side of my fabric. If I can get this off again. So this is why Steam Seam is so cool, is because it's sticky. So I can place it here and be like, oh, you know what, it's hanging off a little bit. I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to move it over there. But this one, as soon as you put this one down, there's really no temporary adhesive to keep it in place. So I'm just going to give it a few seconds with the iron. And then now I let it cool. And now you can easily cut out your shape. So you can use scissors, You can use a rotary cutter. You just want to be cutting out your shape directly on the line. You have to do this 4 times, 2 for each color. You have this corally color, kind of pinky, and then also the orange one. So here we go. I got my shape cut out, and this one's cool now. And so now you can see how you can use a rotary cutter and cut out that shape. Okay, so those are your options. And you do have to do this 4 times. There we go. I'm gonna go with the scissors. It seems a little bit easier. I don't want to push so hard. Okay. This is in my way. Okay, so here I am. I'm just cutting out the shape. Okay, now we are ready to add the applique to our block. So in your kit, you will have gotten 1 large square. It's larger than 7.5 inches so that we can trim it down once we're done. So I'm going to press this both ways in half to try to find the center. Seems like there's a little adhesive. There we go. And then again this way. Iron's a little sticky. Okay, so there's my center. I can line it up really nicely. So this month we'll also have a placement guide. So this is just another sheet that you can print out. If I can grab it. Here it is. So this placement guide, this is the finished size. Your block should be 7.5 when you're done. And once it's sewn into the quilt, will be 7. So this is the finished size. So your piece of fabric should be larger than that. So you can, if you have, a tempered glass mat, you can line it up to a particular, lines on the mat so that it's easy to line up your center. So here, now I know that this right here is my center, and I can put the center of my block directly on the center here. And then when I go to add my fusible, I'm going to peel this off. Peel the paper off. Now the webbing is all stuck to my fabric, and it's sticky, so it will stay where I want it to stay. And then I can easily place this directly on the diagonal in the corner there. And since this has a temporary adhesive on there, it will stay there. This one does not have the temporary adhesive for the permanent adhesive. So you can see how it's there, but not very much. And then this I'm gonna have to try to hold into position while I sew that. Or I hold in position while I get it exactly where I want it to go. So you can use that placement guide to help identify where it needs to go. You can also fold your block on the diagonal like this and find the diagonal there. I don't want to use the iron because I don't want to put that down yet. So I'm just going to finger press it. And then you can find the center of your peel, which should be symmetrical if you cut it out nice. And then you can line up your center of your peel on your diagonal like that. Obviously, light boxes are really fantastic, and they make your job doing the applique a little bit easier. So then once you get that all positioned where you want it to go, then you can take it over to your sewing machine and do whatever kind of stitch you want. You can do a decorative stitch, you can do a regular zigzag stitch, but all you need to do is sew along the edges here. And if you want, you can do it pretty continuous. So you can start here, go all the way around here, go here to there, and then when this peel is there, you can go here to here, and then here to here, and then back over towards the start. So you can get the whole thing done without ever having to start and stop sewing. You have to, so these, all these fusible webbings are meant to be sewn, to to secure your fabric. They are not permanent. So if you did not sew them down, your pieces would come off in the wash. So it is important to stitch these down. Now, before you stitch them down though, I will, you want to hit them again with the hot iron according to whatever fusible webbing manufacturer instructions say. And then all you do is sew them down. So just for fun, I'm going to just do this one right now. I'm going to fuse that so that it's stuck where it is and it won't shift during the stitching. So I'm going to start right here on the edge. And I'm just going to do a straight stitch all the way across the orange peel here. I tend to like the straight stitch. It's kind of minimal, but it's also a great time to play with all of your decorative stitches on your sewing machine. Blanket stitch is really popular for applique. Very, very common. So you just kind of take your time and you go all the way around your piece, just like this. So I'm using gray thread. Oops. And then if your machine does have a locking stitch, it is really great to use that so that it locks the stitches, but it's not a very visible thread bulk area. So that is definitely really nice. You trim your thread, and that is how you sew this block. So now you just have to do that 4 more times. If you lay them all on there before you sew, you can do that in one continuous go. And that is it. Thank you so much. We will see you at the end of August. Libra Day does not affect our meeting, so we will see you at the last weekend of August. You can always pick up your block Saturday or Sunday. We're open from 10 to 2, and we'll see you next time.